أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Respected scholars, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Tonight I stand before you to reflect upon a beautiful and powerful supplication, Dua Iftitah, a dua taught to us by the Imam of our time. This dua is not just a collection of words. It's a deeply moving conversation with Allah filled with praise, hope and submission. As we recite this dua during the blessed nights of Ramadan, let us take a moment to truly understand its spiritual depth, themes and significance in our journey towards Allah. Number 1, the context and significance of Dua Iftitah. Dua Iftitah is traditionally recited in the nights of Ramadan, a month where Allah opens the doors of mercy, forgiveness and blessings. The dua has been narrated from the Imam of our time and is highly recommended because it strengthens our relationship with Allah and increases our awareness of His greatness and His mercy. This dua serves as an intimate dialogue between the servant and his Lord, allowing us to reflect on Allah's attributes and our dependence on Him. It is divided into two main sections. The first section praises Allah and acknowledges His countless blessings, mercy and justice. Secondly, the second section invokes the blessings of the Holy Prophet and his purified family, also known as the Ahlul Bayt, while also expressing our longing for the reappearance of the Imam of our time. Number 2, the key themes of Dua Iftitah. A. Glorifying and praising Allah. The opening lines of Dua Iftitah are a powerful reminder of Allah's mercy and generosity, saying, O Allah, I begin glorifying you with your praise. You are the one who directs towards the right through your kindness. Here, we are reminded that Allah is not only the Creator, but also the most merciful, guiding us with His divine wisdom. The dua continuously emphasizes His greatness, describing Him as one who answers prayers, forgives sins, and grants sustenance to His servants. This part of the dua instills a deep sense of humility in us, reminding us that no matter how much we worship, we can never fully repay Allah for His blessings. B. Seeking nearness to Allah through His names and attributes. Dua Iftitah beautifully highlights some of Allah's attributes such as Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, As-Sami', Al-Basir and Al-Karim. By calling upon these names, we are encouraged to seek proximity to Allah, placing our trust in His wisdom and mercy. This is a reminder that no matter how lost we feel, Allah's mercy is always near. C. Sending blessings on the Ahlul Bayt. One of the unique aspects of Dua Iftitah is its emphasis on the Holy Prophet and his progeny. The supplication constantly seeks blessings upon them, recognizing their roles as the guides of humanity. O Allah, send your blessings upon Muhammad and his family, whom you have chosen to bear your message and appointed as the guides for your creation. By sending salawat, we affirm our love and loyalty to the Holy Prophet and his family, who sacrificed their lives to preserve the message of Islam. D. The awaited Savior, Imam Mahdi. The final portion of Dua Iftitah expresses our deep yearning for the reappearance of the Imam of our time. O Allah, we yearn for a noble government through which Islam and its people will be honored, and hypocrisy and its people will be humiliated. This part of dua is especially relevant in today's world, where we see oppression, injustice, and suffering all throughout the world. It reminds us that Imam Mahdi will establish a just and righteous world where truth will prevail and justice will be restored. By reciting this dua, we not only renew our faith in the Imam's mission, but also prepare ourselves to be among his supporters by striving for justice, piety, and self-purification. 3. The spiritual impact on Dua Iftitah. Dua Iftitah is not just a dua. It is a journey of the soul. It teaches us humility, recognizing that we are always in need of Allah's mercy, gratitude, appreciating the countless blessings of Allah, and love for the Ahlul Bayt, strengthening our bond with the Prophet, and also hope in the reappearance of the Imam of our time, renewing our faith in a better and just future. When we recite this dua with sincerity and understanding, it has the power to cleanse our hearts, increase our faith, and bring us closer to Allah. In conclusion, Dua Iftitah is a prayer for every believer. My dear brothers and sisters, let us not just recite Dua Iftitah as a routine, but as a means of connection with our Lord. Let it remind us of our duties as believers, our hope for just things, and our yearning for divine mercy. May Allah grant us the ability to truly understand the depth of this supplication, to act upon its teachings, and to prepare ourselves for the arrival of Imam Mahdi. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق ثم الصلاة والسلام على النبي الأمي القرشي الهاشمي الأبطهي الخاتم لما سبق والفاتح لمن غلق المعلن الحق بالحق أبي القاسم مصطفى محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا بهم نتولى ومن أعدائهم نتبرأ إلى الله ثم اللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين غاصبي حقوقهم منكري فضائلهم من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد وقوله الحق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدع اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. This is chapter Al-Ma'un, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in these 7 verses gives us many ethical lessons. And the topic of our discussion, the series of lecture is Quran and ethical teachings. In this very small surah, where we see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in every ayah there is a lesson for us. But specifically tonight I want to discuss something which is mentioned in one of the last ayats. Let me just translate the surah quickly and then we'll get to that topic. Allah says, أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ. These are all the vices that we have to consider in our lives. أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ. Have you not seen the person who rejects deen? وَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدُعُّ الْيَتِيمِ. And this is the same person who looks down on a yatim, on an orphan. وَلَا يَحُضُّ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ. And they refrain from giving food to masakeen, to the needy people. فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ. And woe to those who pray, but they are praying recklessly. الَّذِينَ هُمْ يُرَاءُونَ. This is the topic for tonight. And these people are the people who try to show off. الَّذِينَ هُمْ يُرَاءُونَ وَيَمْنَعُونَ الْمَاعُونَ. And these are the people who refrain from helping the poor people. This last 6th ayah, the one last before the last ayah, الَّذِينَ هُمْ يُرَاءُونَ. Those people who show off, who do things for the praises of the people. These are the people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't like. And this is something, again, very serious for all of us to understand, that Quran gives us a very clear understanding of riya. The topic for tonight is riya, is showing off, is doing something to attract the praises of the people. Doing something not for qurbatan ila Allah, but for qurbatan ila nas, for the people, to gain closeness to the people. We are doing everything to gain closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But there are some unfortunate people who are doing things to gain closeness to the people themselves. Now, this person who is suffering from this disease of the heart is very serious. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in multiple ayats describes how this person is, what are the qualities. One more ayah very quickly, then we'll get to the narrations. Chapter Baqarah, verse number 264, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says and gives us a very clear understanding that what happens when you do riya. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tubtilu sadaqatukum bil manni wal adha kalladhi yunfiqu malahu ri'a an-nas. This is a very famous ayah, you must have heard, but this is for us to understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, "Oh people of faith, do not destroy your charity. Do not destroy your charity by reminding it to the recipient, to the people who are receiving it, and by making them feel insulted like the people who try to show off." Don't destroy your charity by showing off. Don't destroy the thawab that you were supposed to get while giving alms, zakat, khums, charity, simple donation, by showing off. And if you do this, الَّذِي يُنْفِقُ مَالَهُ رِئَاءِ النَّاسِ, these people, they give out charity to show people. وَلَا يُؤْمِنُ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ. And these people are who? They do not have faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A person who's doing riya basically doesn't have any faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We'll get to those riwayats also. وَلَا يَوْمَ الْآخِرِ. And these people, they do not even have faith in the day of judgment. فَمَثَلُهُ كَمَثَلِ صَفْوَانٍ عَلَيْهِ تُرَابٌ. The example of such people is like if there is a stone, and upon that stone there is soil gathered on that stone. فَأَصَابَهُ وَابِلٌ فَتَرَكُهُ صَلْدَةٌ. It is as if rain falls upon that stone and washes away all the sand, and it makes it clear and barren stone once again. This is how you are going to see in the day of judgment, that you will be doing things, you will think that you are doing good deeds, but when you reach the hereafter and in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the book of your deed is presented in front of you, you will find none of those good deeds are there in the book. This can be so disturbing. This thought itself is so disturbing, that I'm doing something good all of my life, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 100 years, but once I reach there, there is nothing in my book. Ya Allah, where are all the amal? Where is all this charity? Where is all this mosque I have donated for? Where is all this, niyaz I donated for? Where is all this, schools that I have made, the mosques I have made, the majalis that I have sponsored, so many things that I have been doing, I had been doing in this world. Where are those things? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reply, you did it for the people, go ask for the reward from the people. Allahu Akbar. This is something very disturbing. The thought itself is disturbing. Now this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us about riya in the Quran itself. Now riya, this is only something just for us to think. It's a thought-provoking issue. And I told you in the very beginning that I cannot discuss everything related to this chapter and this topic. So it is for all of us to think, where we are going wrong. Now, today we finished the 10th Sawm and fast from this holy month. Now maybe 19 or 20 more days are left. Let me give you an example. Sometimes these young boys, when they join gym, I think many of you might have gone through this. When you join gym, when you're new, the first and the second day, the first week, these boys, they keep on looking themselves in the mirror, their muscles, and they keep on touching. Is there anything, any change in my body? Where is my six pack? Where is the size of my chest, the size of my biceps? They keep on looking themselves in the mirror. Why? They're tracking their progress, right? They're basically trying to see if there is any change. Like they will go for one day or twice, they will have 2 or 3 sessions with their coach, with their trainer, and they will look themselves in the mirror. For what? For if there is any change in their physical appearance. Now this is the 10th day of Ramadan. Some of us, we don't even care about our spiritual life. We don't check our spiritual life. People are so worried about their physical appearance. They keep on checking their physical appearance, but we do not think about our spiritual life. What about our soul? What about our nafs? Do we check? Do we look in the mirror? Do we look ourselves in the mirror and ask ourselves, this is the question that I need to ask myself. This is the 10th day of Ramadan. Is there any change in my spiritual life? This is something I need to ask myself. This is something everybody needs to ask themselves, because this is the 10th day. The day full of barakat, full of maghfirah, full of rahmah. We are sure, we have faith. This is not something, na'udhu billah, it's not a bluff that this month does not have any barakah. If there is a barakah, where is it? Am I really experiencing it with my soul, with my nafs? Am I doing it? I need to check myself. Now where is that mirror where we can check ourselves, our character? The mirror is the Quran and the seerah of Ahlul Bayt. The more you try to follow Quran, the Quran is going to show you your character. Are you doing according to Quran? Is your life, is it according to the seerah of Ahlul Bayt? This is the mirror for us. This is the criteria for us to check our progress. If we are people behaving in a way which Quran tells us to behave in, then we are successful. And if we are not doing it, let us start doing it. 19 more days left. 20 maybe days more left. Now this is what Quran tells us. You need to check yourself. Balil insanu ala nafsihi basira. I keep on repeating this ayah so that we understand that this is for everyone, especially every individual who thinks that there might be some problem, some spiritual, ethical and moral problem. Now, this riyah and this show off can be in different types, can be in different categories. The first category, the ulama and the scholars, they say it can come and affect your wajibat. Very dangerous, very, very dangerous. It is going to affect your obligations, my obligatory prayers, my obligations put upon me from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my hajj, my khums, my sawm, my salat. These all wajibat, they have a very basic element which is known as an-niyyah, your intention, right? Your intention is what? Qurbatan ilallah. If there is no intention in your prayer, if you don't do niyat in your prayer, niyat means, some people, they question me a lot. Maulana, when I'm standing to say takbiratul ihram, I have to say that I'm going to pray 3 or 4 or 2 rakats of that namaz, qurbatan ilallah. This is not intention. This is something you are uttering, and it is not allowed. You don't have to do this uttering words. Intention is in your mind and in your heart. That is your intention. Now, my intention for the prayer is qurbatan ilallah. As soon as I lose my intention of namaz and my salat or my roza or my sawm, I'm going to invalidate my obligation. This is something for everybody to understand. This is a jurisprudential ruling by every faqih and every marja. The moment you destroy your niyat, the moment your niyat gets corrupted, your ibadat is invalid. Now some of the people, they have this problem of riyah in their obligations. Some people want to show when they are praying, when they are fasting, when they are doing their wajibat. You don't have to show. The moment you start doing it for others to look at you and to praise you, that is the time your niyat becomes invalid, and the whole obligatory action becomes invalid. Your namaz becomes as if you did not pray. Your fast becomes as if you did not fast. Now sometimes this riyah comes into our obligatory actions, but sometimes it is in our recommended actions. You know what? I prayed salat tahajjud yesterday. Oh, it's beautiful. It gives you so much of spirituality. Some people, they have this feeling of talking to other people, showing off. Okay, you prayed tahajjud, so what? So what? Why do you have to come on and tell other people to gain their praises? Yes, let me just clarify one more thing. If someone is sharing something good that he did in his life for the encouragement of others, remember the difference, there is a difference. Sometimes a father wants to share his experience with his son or someone younger or maybe someone elder to him, anybody sharing his experience, a good deed that he did to promote that thing and to encourage other people or to maybe, do amr bil ma'roof, right? So if you are sharing your deed which you did, your action which you performed, a good action, not to gain the praises but to motivate others, that is okay. This is not riyah. There you are not spoiling your intention. It is your intention still remains for qurbatan ilallah. But you are just asking other people, I have done this, I have gone through this, I have prayed tahajjud, 11 rakats. It's easy to pray, you can do it. When I can do it, you can do it. This is how you are encouraging others, right? So this is not riyah. But sometimes you want to gain praises. Yes, sometimes a person wants praise of others, appreciation, acknowledgement. Some people are really after acknowledgement. I'm giving this money, you have to put the name of a stone with my name on it on that building. Because I have donated the money. I have donated for the niyaz. I have donated for this Imam Barga. I have donated. Me. This me, myself, this ana is something that destroys a person from within. This is something very dangerous. People fight over it. People fight over it. My name was not called out. I was not mentioned. Me? Oh, this is a great problem. This is something very, very disturbing. That if a person he sees himself as if he is something, he's doing a favor on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I have done something, you should mention it, you should recognize it. Why didn't you mention my name in the message? Why didn't you mention my name in the announcement? These are things that we see every day. Every day, every single day. But yes, I'm not there to doubt anybody's intention. I told you there can be different types of intentions. But don't insist on these things. This is going to gradually bring riyah in our lives. This is something that you did for Imam Hussein. Okay, if someone announced your name, very well. If someone did not, don't push on to it. This will spoil your ikhlas. This will lead to something where you don't want to go. Now this is again in mustahabbat and in things that we do something which is recommended. Sometimes this riyah comes in our faith. Again, it turns into munafiqat and hypocrisy. We don't want to go into that. Now, the Holy Prophet says, Inna akhwafa ma akhafu alaykum ash-shirk al-asghar. Something which I am afraid for my ummah. The Holy Prophet says something which I'm really worried and I'm afraid for all of you is shirk al-asghar, the little shirk, the smaller shirk, the minor shirk. The people, they asked the Holy Prophet that, Ya Rasulullah, what is this minor shirk you are talking about? What is this minor shirk? The Holy Prophet says, وَهُوَ الرِّيَاء. Riya, showing off, is a minor shirk. Why? Why is it a minor shirk? Because I'm doing something, maybe sometimes just to show you, or maybe I'm doing something for the sake of Allah also and to show you also. So I'm making Allah sharik and I'm associating Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with you in my fi'l. That I'm doing for you also and for Allah also. I need reward from Allah also and praises from you also. This cannot happen, my friend. This is not how it works. This is not the way how it works. You have to do everything with ikhlas, with khulus, with qurbatan ilallah. You don't have to care about what people think of you and what praises they are doing or not. You don't look for their appreciation. You are just doing it for the sake of your God and for the sake and the pleasure of your Imam, the Imam of your time. That is it. The Holy Prophet says this is shirk al-asghar. And one who does this shirk al-asghar, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in one of the narrations, now there is no time to read out all the Arabic text. In this narration, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ana aghna shuraka. I am the most independent associate. I am the most independent sharik. If you are associating me with someone else, I'm the most independent and I'm the most, generous. When you come to me in the day of Qiyamah, the day of judgment, and you ask me, Allah, I made that mosque. Where is that reward? Where is that reward? I made the mosque. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell me that you made that mosque for me and for the people. You made that mosque to show me for my pleasure and for the praises of the people also. So now I am a very generous partner, I am a very generous associate, and I am going to give away the share you did for me to him, to them, to the public, to the people. Now you go ask for the whole reward from the people in themselves. You made the mosque for the people, go ask them the reward. This is what is going to happen at the day of judgment. This is what is going to happen when our a'mal are presented. Now there is one more narration which is very, very, a person, if he thinks, when I was reading through, the second part is related something to us. A person trembles, and needs to think for what he's doing. Now let me just read through this narration. Inna أولى الناس أن يقضى يوم القيامة عليه رجل استشهد. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the first person to be judged on the day of Qiyamah, especially the boys and girls, the young people, listen to this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the first person worthy of judgment on the day of Qiyamah is a shaheed, is a martyr, is a shaheed. Now when this shaheed is going to be presented in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَأَتَى بِهِ فَعَرَّفَهُ نِعَمَهُ. And then this shaheed will be shown the rewards he is going to get. Yeah, a shaheed, how elevated his status is. So the shaheed will be shown that this is the reward that you are going to receive from my side. And then he will be asked, فَمَا عَمِلْتَ فِيهَا. O shaheed, O martyr, what have you done to receive such favors and rewards from me? Such blessings from me. So the shaheed is going to answer, قَالَ قَاتَلْتُ فِيكَ يَا Allah. Oh Allah, I fought for your sake. I went on the battlefield for your sake. حَتَّى أُسْتُشْهِدْتُ. I fought for your sake to the extent that I was martyred and I was killed in your way, until I was killed in your way. Now when he will reply, when the shaheed will reply that I fought for your sake and I got killed for your sake, there will be a voice heard, and that voice will tell that shaheed, قَالَ قُتِلْتُ وَاسْتُشْهِدْتُ. قَالَ, there will be a sound and there will be a voice heard from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, كَذَبْتَ, you are lying. Allahu Akbar. You are lying. Yes, you went to the battlefield, you got killed, you sacrificed, you fought, and you were martyred, you were killed. But the thing that you claim that you did it for me, kadabta. Allahu Akbar. You are lying. The person will say, no, Ya Allah, I did it for your sake. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reply, وَلَكِنَّكَ قَاتَلْتَ. Yes, you fought, but you fought, وَلَكِنَّكَ قَاتَلْتَ لِيُقَالُ جَرِيءٌ. You fought for the sake of yourself, so that people tomorrow are going to talk about your courage. They will glorify you. They will call you a hero. They will call you how courageous you are, how strong you are, how beautifully you fought on the battlefield. So whatever you did was for your sake, and he will be dragged to the hellfire. This is what is going to happen. Sometimes we don't know. We do things, but we don't, we sometimes think, these intentions and these ulama and the fuqaha talking about niyyah, intention, we don't take care of it. No, this is very important. This is the most essential part of your prayer, of your worship, of your submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This intention should be very clear for all of us. It has to be for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now the part which is related to people like me. And then after shuhada, there will be people called وَرَجُلٌ تَعَلَّمَ الْعِلْمَ وَعَلَّمَهُ وَقَرَأَ الْقُرْآنِ. Then those people will be called who studied and who gained knowledge, who recited Quran and who taught Quran to others. They will be called. And similarly, when they will be called, they will be presented those ni'mat and those favors and rewards. And when this person will acknowledge and say, yes, this is something that I should receive, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask, فَبِمَا, why you are going to receive this? What have you done in this world? What have you done in that world to receive such great rewards and favors? The person will say, Allah, Oh Allah, I went on seeking knowledge for your sake. I went to seek knowledge for your sake. I studied Quran and I taught Quran for your sake. Then the voice will be heard, kadhabta. You are lying. You are lying. You did not gain knowledge for my sake, but you just gained knowledge for the people's praises. For the people to praise you, for the people to tell you, oh, how wonderfully he talks, how nicely he presents, how knowledgeable he is. Al-ayadu billah. If a person sits here, because this is related to people like us, who share their knowledge. If I am talking to you for the praise that you give to me, this is all going to go in vain. This is for me to understand. This is for everybody to understand. This is an example for me. It might be in other professions also. Anybody doing something for the praise of people. Sometimes, let me clarify this. Don't doubt other people also. Some of the orators, they have a different style. They ask for appreciation. Yes, that is a motivation for them. So don't think, oh, people, they are asking for motivation. That means they are sitting on the mimbar and doing riyah. Don't jump to conclusions like this. But if a person really intends that I gain the praises of people, and he does not do it for the sake of Allah fully, that means this person is just doing it for people, for the praises of people. There is no qurbatan ilallah. I'm just doing it for my fame. I'm just doing it for my name. I'm just doing it for my praise. So that people, once I get down from the mimbar, they come and they kiss me and they hug me and they appreciate me and they say, Mawlana subhanallah, wahwa, kya majlis padhi, kya khitab kiya hai. This is what happens. This is what happens. And this is something very, very dangerous. People who gain fame, they are supposed to be more people who have, more responsibility. They have to be more cautious in this regards. Now, Imam alayhi salatu wasalam explains us and tells us that there are 3 signs of a person who does this riyah. What are the signs? How? And these signs I have told you, it is not for you to point out to others. These signs are for us to understand whether I am doing riyah or not. Now Imam says, ثَلَاثُ عَلَامَاتٍ لِلْمُرَائِي. There are 3 signs for the person who does riyah, for the person who is showing off and doing things for the praise of other people, doing things to attract other people's praises. Now, something that we need to practice, one of the ways how to cure this is to sometimes just try to hide things. Don't even, when you give out charity or you help someone, this is one of the keys that the scholars, they tell us how to practice. When you do something good, yes, there will be some temptation in your heart to, share it with others. Let me tell people, I have done this. Try to stop that. Try to hide your good deeds. Don't even try to remember it in your own mind. When you do it, Urdu mein hum log kya kehte hain? Neki kar kuएं mein dal. You do something and you just forget about it. Don't remember it. Don't praise yourself within your heart. I have done something good. I'm not going to tell other people, but I have done something good. Yes, do it 1 or 2 times, but just keep on forgetting it. If it is an encouragement for you, it's okay. But don't keep on repeating. Don't keep on telling yourself, I have done this thing. And then you will end up, telling others and gaining their, praises. Try to forget it. Try to hide things. Even from the closest members of your family. Don't tell them. There is no need for you to go on telling people. There is a story of Shaykh Abbas Qummi, the author of Mafatih al-Janan, that everybody has this book in their houses. Shaykh Abbas al-Qummi, how great scholar, how, you just cannot imagine the amount of khulus this scholar had put into this book, Mafatih al-Janan, that today in every house next to Quran you have Mafatih al-Janan. This is the amount of ikhlas a person puts in his deeds, that for Qiyamah up till the day of judgment, the book is alive. People are using it and everybody opening that book, there is a sawab given to Shaykh Abbas Qummi, right? So Shaykh Abbas Qummi was a great scholar and he had authored and he had written many books. Now one of his books is known as Manazil al-Akhirah. One day in the haram of Lady Hazrat Ma'asuma Salamullah alayha, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the tawfiq to go for her ziyarat and the ziyarat of Imam Rada alayhi salatu wasalam. One of the scholars, his name was Abdul Razak. In those days, he used to just sit down and recite a very short sermon and give a lecture tell about a masala, a ruling, or just a point, akhlaqi, ethical point. So Abdul Razak was a person who was like a Maulana, like a scholar. And Shaykh Abbas Qummi, his father, used to enjoy the talks of this Abdul Razak. Yeah. So he always used to attend the lectures. He used to sit down and attend his talks. So one day he was, Abdul Razak, he sat on the mimbar and he used to open the book, Manazil al-Akhirah. Manazil al-Akhirah is a book that is authored by Shaykh Abbas al-Qummi himself, out of many books that he has authored. Now, he used to read out from that book, Manazil al-Akhirah. One day, the father of Shaykh Abbas al-Qummi was sitting there and he was enjoying the talk that Abdul Razak was talking about. And he came to the house and he saw Shaykh Abbas al-Qummi. So Shaykh Abbas al-Qummi's father told Shaykh Abbas al-Qummi that, son, you are also a Maulana and scholar, and it would have been so nice that one day I would see you, reciting from a book, Manazil al-Akhirah, and you writing a book known as Manazil al-Akhirah, and you also giving lecture about things that Abdul Razak talks about. It's very nice. Inshallah, hopefully you someday will write something like this. Shaykh Abbas al-Qummi wanted to tell his father that, father, I'm the author of that book that you are praising so much. But he said, no, if I might share this, then my khulus will go. I don't want to do this riyah, even in front of my father. I know he will be encouraged. I know it is not going to be riyah, but just out of precaution, I will not share it even with my father. This is the amount of ikhlas. This is the amount of khulus, these ulama and the scholars, they not like me today. Yeah, not like the scholar likes of me, sitting here talking so much but doing nothing. Now, second important alamat and the sign of a person, the Imam says that these people, the first sign is لِلْمِرَاءِ يَنْشَطُ إِذَا رَأَى النَّاسِ. This person, when he sees people, the first sign, when he sees people, he will be energized. As soon as he sees people, that the people are looking at him, he will feel energized and he will do so much of worship. He will do so much of kind things. People today you see on these social media platforms, donating, charity, this and that, photos and videos, publicity, fan following. For what? For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or for other purposes? If you're doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why do you have to come on TikTok and announce? You do it. You do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You don't have to announce. You don't have to take your pictures. You don't have to share it on the Facebook. Second important thing, and these people, these people who do riyah for other, there is again one story I remember in these books of akhlaq. There was a person, very pious person, he used to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but he felt that, I'm having this problem of riyah. And he wanted to cure himself. And he thought so much. Some people, they need to think. So he thought so much, how do I do it? How do I do it? Whenever I stand for praying, whenever I say Allahu Akbar, my mind goes towards these people watching me, and I start, to pray in a very, in a way that, people are going to praise me at the end of the day. So now he thought for himself, I need to get away from this riyah, and he found a place outside the city, an abandoned place. He went there, lonely place, nobody used to come there, and he decided that I will offer my prayers in this house where nobody used to come. One day he went for Salat al-Fajr in that house to pray. The right time of the prayer. He went there as soon as azan was given. He started his prayers. And while he was praying, he did Allahu Akbar and he, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. And as soon as he started Surah Al-Hamd, he felt something that someone entered the house. He felt someone entered the house and he heard the noise. So again, he started feeling, there is someone looking. I must, pray in a way, and I need to show people that I'm praying in a lonely place, and I'm so much concerned that I have chosen this place. And he started having long ruku, long sujood, long qunut, and he prayed from the first, the time of azan up till dawn when the prayer was about to get qadha. And he just ended at that right moment. He kept on praying for one hour, 1.5 hours. And then when he was wrapping up his musalla and he was, going back home, he wanted to see who was there, who was looking at me, so that, he get the praises. And from the corner of his eyes, he looked and he found out that there was a dog sitting over there, making some noises. And he thought, I'm praying. And that was the moment that he again thought, he cursed himself that I was praying for 1.5 hours for this dog. For this dog. Sometimes this is the example of our ibadat. This is what we are doing. We don't even care for what we are doing. The second important thing that Imam says, first important thing is that he feels energized when people are looking, and he is going to do things in a better way when people are looking. Second important sign is that he feels lazy to do something good when he's alone. Third important sign that Imam says, وَيُحِبُّ أَن يُحْمَدَ فِي جَمِيعِ أُمُورِهِ. This person wants praises in everything that he does. Everything that he does, he wants praises from other people. And there was so much more to discuss. But may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the tawfiq in this holy month to clean our hearts from these vices, and especially from riya. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to the right path, the sirat al-mustaqim, which is the path of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure us from these diseases of heart. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect mu'mineen and mu'minat, especially the lovers of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam around the world. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala count us amongst the companions of the Imam of our time, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasten the reappearance of the Imam of our time. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa alihi tahirin.